Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things. It's shopping, but it's shopping at Wearhouse Consignment. And I'm with the owner. I'm with Jill Hartman. Thank you for being here,
Hi there,
Jill.
Diane. Thank you for having me.
I love shopping in your store.
Thank you so much.
I really
do.
do.
We appreciate you. We really do.
It's so much fun. The way it's laid out, what you have, and how we're greeted when we come too. And that makes the experience what I really enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
So you said you've been there, you've had it for 21 years, is that right?
Oh, yeah, I'm in my 22nd year.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Yeah, wow, right? Go figure. And you are in the Landisville area. That's where this is based. But you have quite a story on how you got to this.
Yeah.
Because what were you doing before? What's your background?
I was a legal assistant for 15 years.
All right.
Yep, I worked in D.C. for a number of years, and then I moved back here to Lancaster. I met my husband here.
Okay.
This is home.
This is home.
And then we started a family, and I quickly realized I wasn't able to go back to the law firm. So I raised my girls, and they were starting kindergarten, full-day kindergarten. I'm like, what am I going to do, you know? And the opportunity arose, and I grabbed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you say opportunity arose, what was the opportunity that arose?
The Wearhouse Consignment. I didn't name the store. I didn't start the store. A woman who was a grandmother in our school, in our grade school for the girls, had started it, and quickly realized it was a little too much on her plate. So I lived right down the street.
Okay.
Like it was steps from my house, the original location. Yeah.
So I guess what I'm really asking is, what's the head process going from legal assistant to
Girl, I don't know.
You know, what happened? What was it? I know you're passionate about what you do.
I am. I don't know that I always was.
Okay.
I have no retail background, honestly.
Okay.
It was in my neighborhood. It was a small shop that I had, I was able to be flexible for my girls because they were little,
Sure.
I just, honest to God, I was winging it.
Okay.
From the beginning. Yeah.
Right.
It was not computerized, so I had to look into software and make it my own. So, yeah.
Well, it's a lot different 20-some years later than what it was when you first got into the business, right?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I had people at the front door when I started. Now, Catherine, the lady who had the shop before me, she had established clientele, but there was no shortage of clothing coming in the door.
Right.
And that continues today. We have to be more selective, and that's what I found, and I learned over the years. Because you could easily get inundated and overwhelmed with the quantity of items coming in.
Well, and let's talk about the type of items that you take. We're talking about clothing, shoes.
Handbags. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because that's a bigger price point, for people.
Right.
We are very selective. We work with Coach and Dooney, Kate Spade, Tory Burch, on to Gucci and Louis Vuitton.
Right.
We get them all in. And yeah.
Well, who's your customer? Who would you say is your customer? Is it pretty diverse or?
It is very diverse.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Economically diverse. Consignment sometimes has a stigma that it's less economically, people who are less well off are shopping consignment.
Right.
And that's not necessarily true.
No, because the lines that you carry as well.
I know. That's amazing to me because over the years it's just grown and evolved. But I like to have something for everyone.
Right.
So, and that's, I have a variety of people coming in the door to shop and to consign.
Absolutely.
So
now I know it's largely women's. Do you still have men?
We no longer do.
You did for a long time,
We did
though.
for a very long time. Probably, I'm not sure if from the beginning or shortly thereafter, we had children's, babies, infant clothing, and strollers and height chairs, and that just got too much for us. And we needed to focus on, narrow it down on what we sold best and where we wanted to take the shop. And that was about 15 years ago. We decided, maybe 10 years, to discontinue the children's items. We continue to do men's because men don't have anywhere to shop
Yeah.
for gently pre-owned,
Right.
quality clothing.
Yes.
You know, but we had grown upstairs into a boutique because we do get, you know, quite a few high-end price
Right,
point
sure.
clothing in, that we needed a place to display them.
Yes.
And process online selling, because that's a big part of our business.
When did you go to some online selling? Do you remember?
Gosh, girl, we've been doing that for like 15 years.
Okay, so that you've
Yeah,
been doing it for
we
a
started
while.
eBay
Okay.
a long time ago.
All right.
I'm going to say not until COVID did it really take off.
Right.
Because people were shopping from home, you know. I'm not sure where I was going with that.
But I know I enjoy coming in and seeing
a lot
what's
of people
there.
do.
You know,
they like to touch it and feel it and try it on.
Absolutely. And there's a reason that I've worn what I'm wearing today. I got this there.
Oh.
And if you will notice the boots.
Oh, I remember those.
Yes, so the boots as well. And I'm almost 80% sure I got the pants and the top
Oh, I
there as
love
well.
it.
So I love what I can get there.
You know, it's a great place to shop if you're experimenting with styles. You know, you see others in, certain clothing styles and you're like, I wonder if that would look good on me.
Yeah.
Well, it's best to shop at pre-owned.
Right.
And,
Right.
to see if it works.
And I know I enjoy shopping for friends there as well, too. So if I see
Right.
something that I think they would like, I would take a picture.
I love it. I know you do. I know you do.
And I send it off and I say, should I pick it up or should I get it on hold for you?
Yeah,
So that you can come in.
that's so dear. What a good friend.
And I think, we enjoy that as a group, and we women especially enjoy looking
yeah.
out for each other. And I like to get things for my granddaughter too, and it's just a wonderful experience. It
Yeah.
really is. So for those who don't understand how it's set up, you bring in some items and you choose what you want to keep to sell.
Right.
So tell me the details.
That is, it's not black and white. There are
Okay.
many factors that go into what we choose. The date of the clothing. We can't always tell how old the piece is, but we really try to keep current style, and most consignment shops do. Vintage shops or elsewhere,
Right.
they have their own niche.
Yes.
But we try to stay within 3 years old. We generally take from, the stores at the mall, J. Crew, Talbot's, J. Jill is a popular one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. You had like St. John. You have Lululemon.
I know. Lululemon's really obviously been very
popular. Yeah.
Especially with the younger set.
Yes, my granddaughter. Yes.
Absolutely.
But she's
yeah.
turned me on to
So-
some of that too.
Oh, I see a lot of moms and their daughters come in shopping, because they see it at school, their friends have it and they want it.
Right.
So I'm proud to offer, those quality
Yeah.
brands.
So how do you do this then? Sometimes you buy outright, and then sometimes there's a split between, right?
Right. Now we've done buy outright for 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. We are experimenting with just consigning now.
Okay.
So it's 50-50.
All right.
It's a 50-50 split. Whatever the item sells for, the consignor gets 50%, we get 50%.
And I also see you have a price listed for different dates, what it may go to.
Exactly. And
Right.
that is a benefit for customers. Everybody's looking for a bargain, right?
Right.
I know I am.
Right.
And so every month, month and a half, the prices will go down, and it's listed on the tag
Right.
as per the date. So definitely watch out for that.
Yeah, you can. And I also like what you do by how many points we accumulate.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah. Customer appreciation. The more you buy, the more you're going to save with us.
Absolutely.
So, every time you shop, you earn points toward a coupon.
Okay.
And we haven't made it unattainable like some shops.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to spend $500 in order to get
Right.
$10 off. We don't have it that way. I mean, we're just so customer friendly. That's
Absolutely.
always been my,
Absolutely.
mantra. Customer service.
It really is. It truly is. So how do we find out about you other than walking through the door? Where do we find you? On
Well,
Facebook?
We are on Facebook.
Yep.
Absolutely. And Instagram.
Uh-huh.
So definitely go on there, and we will advertise sales and what's coming through the door.
Okay.
Let
All
people
right.
know. Yeah, that's how we do it now.
That
you
is-
know, we
yep.
used to do email, but
Yep.
we got away from that.
Yeah.
You know.
And now we do that. Well, there's so much more that we're going to talk about the sustainability with this too. Also another reason why this is important. So stay with us. We'll be right back. You're watching Lancaster Community TV, LCTV 66. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about consignment, and especially Wearhouse Consignment with Jill Hartman. She's the owner. And Jill, I was doing a little bit of research, with some things about fashion consignment. And this is what I found. It says that fashion consignment is significantly on the rise.
Yes.
Secondhand clothing and
Yes.
marketing experience substantial growth driven by customer focus on sustainability, affordability, and unique finds. Which we're talking
Absolutely.
about, right?
Absolutely.
And
that
it leads-
sums up a consignment.
It does,
shop.
doesn't it? And it leads to a surge in both online and, as we've talked about, the brick and mortar consignment stores. And it should even have more in the coming years.
I believe so.
Yeah. So the sustainability is really important. I mean, you don't
Oh,
want to, landfills with,
You know,
it's
acrylics.
crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Acrylics do not biodegrade.
Right.
You know, polyester doesn't, disappear. It is toxic, and the chemicals that are used to produce it, and it just gets tossed in the landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. And I think what you may have gotten tired of wearing is a treasure to somebody else.
Absolutely.
You know?
Pass it on.
Absolutely. In fact, I just did this with a friend over Christmas. We decided to go from our wardrobes and pick out an item that we think would look better on the other person, and that's what we did, and we exchanged
I
it.
love
and we
it.
both were so happy.
That's so exciting.
It was
It's
so
new
much
to
fun.
you.
It absolutely is. It really is. So I think that's really important to think about too.
Right.
And you were saying the customers that you have coming in, you have some of the little people that were
They
in with
were little, they were toddlers when
Yeah.
I was, just starting out. So, we started in 2003, and they would come in with their moms, and now they're shopping with us. So it's
Right.
really cool. I just had an experience this weekend. The daughter is 16 years old. I'm like, no way. How can that be?
Yeah, now she's in as
Yeah.
a customer herself. That's really great. So the time that you've been doing this, I mean, it's really been a treasure to you. And you told me before, you are so passionate about your baby.
Yes,
this
she
is your
is
thing.
my baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And it's because you have these relationships with customers and with consigners. Elaborate on that for me.
Oh, it's a joy to bring smiles to people's faces when they can afford the expensive brands that we get in.
Right.
I just love it, and we have so many loyal customers, and who've really become like family to us.
Yeah. And there's a regularity, I think some of us will stop by.
Oh my gosh! I have girls that come in once a week.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Just to check things out.
Hey,
it's
wait a minute.
Well, it's also two things that you post. And how do you go about addressing that and looking at what you want to put out there to the masses?
That's a little difficult,
Yeah.
because you want to try to get items out on social media that are highlights of,
Right.
the store. And, from purses to, clothing styles to boots,
Right. So what do you think really makes you unique? What is it? I mean, I know you hear things, and I know things that I feel because you carry some good brands, but I also think it's the way you have everything staged and how easy. I mean, sometimes I shop in circles. I've got to admit, I shop in circles. I keep going round and round.
Right.
But it's a pleasure to be in the store.
Thank you. And I hear that often. It's more of a retail experience.
Right.
It's better than going to the mall. You have all the best brands under one roof.
Right. It's a treasure hunt.
It is a treasure hunt. Somebody else just said that to me
Yeah.
the other day. Absolutely.
So what sizes do you carry, just so we can, get in our head?
Girl, we carry extra, extra small. I don't know how many girls are in that size anymore. But extra small through 3X.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
and
huge,
I
that you
like
can
to
do
have
that.
the variety for
Yep.
people.
Absolutely.
I mean, I want those racks full that people can shop from, and that's never been an issue. Our racks are always full. And, refreshing the inventory, that's important.
Yeah. And how do you go about doing that? I mean, when do you take in items or not?
Well, you know, spring is coming up. We're setting our sights on spring now, aren't
Okay.
we all?
Yes.
So January 20th, we will start taking transitional spring. It is a unique business. Transitional spring is long sleeves, lighter weight clothing,
Right.
lighter colors. And then beginning in April, we'll start looking at short sleeves, and then we'll go, you know, through summer, and yeah.
Yeah, and do it like that. So go through your wardrobe and look and see those things that you might not be wearing anymore.
Right. And definitely inspect them for stains or pilling on the sweaters and tops.
Okay.
Wear and tear is a big reason why we don't take things.
Okay.
Because let's face it, you know, there's a lot of the clothing out there and the fabrics that they're made from don't hold up in the wash. So it's quality over quantity that we take. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And when we bring it in, obviously have it laundered.
Yes.
Have it, if it needs to be dry cleaned.
We do take it to the dry cleaner.
Okay.
If necessary. We do prefer to have it dry cleaned, laundered. And another, you know, basic point is if you wouldn't want it to buy it when you're out in that store, don't send it to us. You know, don't bring
Okay.
it in. Yeah. So, yeah, we were just very selective on the wear
Okay,
of the clothing,
which
too.
makes sense.
And the styles.
Now, how many employees do you have?
4, I think, including me right
Okay,
now.
all
So
right.
we're all, you know,
Yeah.
gung-ho and
What do you
working
look
hard.
for in an employee at your shop? What do you look for?
Friendliness.
That's key.
It is key.
Uh-huh.
And I've been so lucky over the years. I mean, I've had a lot of, we were right next to Hempfield High School. We're right near Hempfield High School. So I do get a lot of the young girls coming in. And yeah, I mean, those who want to work and have a desire to learn.
Yeah, a desire to learn is good. And having some sort of fashion sense helps as well.
It does.
And enjoying playing with clothes and shoes and purses and
Absolutely.
some jewelry too, because I've seen jewelry in there as
Yes,
well
of
too.
course, of
Accessories too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, sunglasses,
Oh yeah, right.
perfumes.
Yes.
Even they don't have to be full, you know,
Right.
pre-owned perfume. Now it's got to be, you know, within a couple years old,
Right.
Because they don't last forever.
Right.
The scent, but it's interesting what we do get into the store,
Yeah.
and what sells. People
Yeah.
are looking for.
So I guess spring cleaning is a good sort of way to get some things together.
And it's
or whenever
so.
you're
I mean, we're
cleaning.
all excited about the new season, whether it's spring or fall.
right.
And we are too, because we know we're gonna turning over that store into fresh new items, and
Yeah.
we can't wait.
And when you're traveling too, you sometimes, because you go to different climates, need different clothes as well.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
look out for that as well too.
Of course, yeah, we try to keep, you know, handful of those types of
What
items.
else
yeah.
haven't we talked about that you think is important for us to know? Is there anything that we have not addressed that you think is key?
Wow. You know, just come in with an open mind. You know, if you're consigning things, if you're interested in consigning, not everything sells, and we can't take everything. But a lot of people, and I do too, you take it personally because it's your personal belongings.
Yeah.
But truly, it's a business, you know, whether we feel in our experience that it will sell. If we sold everything, we would be millionaires, and we're not. So
Right.
we just go by our experience.
So what happens if it doesn't sell?
If it doesn't sell, it goes to deep discount.
Okay.
We have a clearance wall.
Yes.
Okay. And we're having our
Fill
fill
the
a bag
bag.
sale this weekend,
Okay.
which is a huge draw, because you can fill a bag with clothing and shoes for $30. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then those items that don't sell and we need to purge,
Yeah.
we donate to the Lancaster Food Hub, which
Okay.
has a clothing bank. Not a lot of people know
All right,
that.
yes,
It
yes.
used to be called Council of Churches, Lancaster Council of Churches.
Right.
And they have a full-size clothing bank for children, women, men. I wanted to get a figure for you, but I mean, it is hundreds and hundreds of pounds we donate every year.
Wow.
Thanks to our customers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's great.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like upcycling?
Absolutely it is.
And that's what it's all about, and giving new life.
Right.
And reaching a market. You know, there really is. So it's whether we come in and purchase this or whether it gets donated. It makes so much sense with sustainability.
You're extending the life of the
Absolutely.
fabric.
Right.
It's not ending up in the landfill any sooner than it has to. And people really enjoy, like yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Gently owned clothing. It's worn in, it's ready to go. I mean, you know.
And it's a treasure hunt. I absolutely enjoy it. So let's just reiterate where we can find you again.
Facebook and Instagram.
And Instagram, okay. Wearhouse Consignment. It's W-E-A-R.
As to wear clothing.
Which makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for being here, Jill. And thank you for what you're doing, because we all enjoy it and we all appreciate it. And so does our environment.
Dang, I know we do.
That's what
Thank you
it's
so
all about.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Diane.
you for joining us today, too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.